Hi everyone, welcome to the Planning for Your Academic session as part of your summer orientation. My name is Chantal Smith and I'm a Senior Academic Advisor here at Brescia. On behalf of the whole Student Success team, I'd like to officially welcome you to the Brescia family. We are so excited to meet you in September, and as you begin your academic journey, we do know that there's probably lots of emotions that you're feeling. You might be feeling nervous, a bit anxious, hopefully a little excited too, and all of those things are completely normal. What's most important is that we want you to know we are here for you every step of the way throughout your time with us. Now, what I'll be doing is I'll be sharing my screen so that you're able to view the presentation as we go along. So I will pull that up and just give me a quick second to put that up onto the screen. Okay, perfect. So again, welcome. On today's agenda, we will be reviewing a few different tools to help plan both your first year as well as your whole degree here with us. But probably right now, you are most excited and most eager to plan your first year. So we'll be looking specifically at those first year courses, how to use the university academic calendar, different degree types and modules, as well as those requirements for your first year and beyond. And some goals of the summer orientation program. Hopefully you'll be able to meet one-on-one with a course advisor to discuss some of your first year courses. Before you do that, you will need to activate your Western email account because that login and password is what gives you access to the Student Center as well, where you'll be able to register for your courses as well as use that draft my timetable tool in order to draft some of those courses together. And of course, we will be able to answer any registration questions and troubleshoot any issues at that one-on-one meeting with the course advisor, and also by emailing the Hive. That's our one-stop shop, and I'll be chatting a little bit more about them in just a few minutes. So just a few tools for your course selection and registration. We have the Brescia Welcome Guide that is very, very helpful for you to review. It's on our registration page, so please visit it. There's lots of different awesome guides there. The Western Academic Calendar website, I will be showing you in a bit on how to navigate that and what it would be used for. The Draft My Schedule tool online, as I mentioned. Your student number and access code you will need if you have not already activated your Western login and password. And then of course a pencil and a pen, those always come in handy too. So I just want to take a minute to introduce you to your student success team. So myself, I'm one of 3 senior academic advisors at Brescia. We also have Emma Douglas and Jessica Patterson, and we typically divide our student interactions by last name. So Emma would work with students with last names A to H. I work with students' last names I to P, and Jessica works with students' last names Q to Z. We do also have a preliminary year advisor specifically for our preliminary year students, and that's Caitlin Cole. So she works with students all the way from their admission through to their transition into first year from preliminary year. Melanie Molnar is our Associate Registrar of Student Success, so she would oversee the Student Success team. At the Hive, we have 3 enrollment services assistants. We have Kate Bionda, Ariel Brown, and Kate McBain. They are there to help answer your questions at the Hive, and they help with processing our official letters and booking academic advising appointments, all of those great things. Vicki Scott is our records coordinator, so you might not see her a whole lot. She works mainly behind the scenes to help keep our records up to date. She adds all of our grades, and she works really hard to keep everything a well-oiled machine. And last but certainly not least, we have Lizetta Koa. She is our international program coordinator. So she works closely with our international students. She plans events throughout the year, and she helps support those international students throughout the year and throughout their whole time at Brescia. So as I mentioned, the Hive is a great place to start for any quick questions that you might have, including but not limited to on the side there, any module requirements, course registration, accommodation requests, letters, dates, fees, any FAQs, and they are located in the St. James building, Mother St. James building, the first floor. And their email is brescia@uwo.ca. You can also book academic advising appointments at the Hive in person. Now, just a quick note about the release of personal information. So we are not able to release any information on grades, enrollment status, or fees to a third party. So the student themselves would be who we are able to release that information to. If the student does want to make that information available to someone else, then they would need to complete the release of information form on their student center to designate what information and who they would like that information available to, as well as a date for that to be effective. So moving along, the academic calendar is a really great resource that you'll be using throughout your university career to look at your module requirements as well as your academic dates. So in the module requirements, it'll tell you what courses are required for admission. So what first year courses you need to take in order to enter those modules or module in second year. And then when you are able to click on the courses, it does give you a detailed description of what each course entails. Now also on there is different academic dates. So when classes start and end, different dates and deadlines in terms of adding and dropping courses, as well as your different exam periods. So definitely check that out before the school year begins. Put them all in a planner so you know exactly when those things happen. So I'll just open up that academic calendar quickly so that we can show you where all of those things are found. So I mentioned different dates and deadlines. Those are found under sessional dates. And you can see it starts in 2020. So for this academic school year, we would want to scroll down through to September. So we can see that regular undergraduate courses begin on September 9th. So fall winter term classes begin. And as you scroll through, it will also tell you the different days to add and drop courses, different holidays, when your fall reading week is, and then your exams. So a very helpful document to review. In terms of modular requirements, when you click on modules/programs, it actually does allow you to search. So I've searched nutrition here. You can see if they have any students who are interested in the nutrition and dietetics program, we would be looking for that one specifically. So nutrition and dietetics. If you're interested in the honor specialization, when you click on that, it actually opens up that page for you. So you can see that it lists the admission requirements. So what would be required to be admitted to the module after first year. So it lists your required courses: chemistry 1301, 1302, biology 1290, physiology 1021, foods and nutrition 1070 A or B, and 1241 A or B. And then it gives you the average required too. So you need to have a 75% with no grade below 60% in these specific courses. And then further down, it gives you the actual modular courses. So this module is comprised of 11.5 courses, and they list them all here. And when you click on a course, it will bring you again to that description. So that is a very helpful document to know how to use and to keep in mind. Okay, so at Brescia in Western in general, we have three different types of degrees that you can pick from. We have the honors 4-year bachelor degree, which is comprised of 20 courses. We have the 4-year bachelor degree, which is also comprised of 20 courses, and the 3-year bachelor degree, which is 15 courses. So we often get asked, what the difference is between the honors bachelor degree and the 4-year bachelor degree. And mainly it comes down to the grades required as well as the different types of modules that are comprised in each. So I will be reviewing that in just a second. But within these degrees, you will select different modules. And then you'll also notice that it breaks down to 5 courses per year. So with both of the different 4-year degree options, 4 years with 5 courses in each year gives you 20 credits. Same thing with the 3-year degree, 5 courses per year times 3 years is 15 courses. So I've been throwing around this word a lot, the word module. So what exactly is a module? So it is essentially a grouping of courses that you would be required to complete in a specific subject area. So what you choose in first year would determine what modules you have access to in your second year moving forward. So different modules have different focuses and different levels of focus. You can see that both the honors specialization and specializations have 9 to 11 courses that are required as part of those specific groupings. So some honor specializations might have 9, some might have 11, and you would need to take the courses that are outlined in the academic calendar as part of that module in order to successfully complete that. And again, the difference between the honor specialization and specialization would be both the grade requirement as well as the different degree types. So honor specialization is just a part of the 4-year honors degree, and the specialization is part of the 4-year bachelor degree. And then sometimes there's different courses that are comprised for each of them, especially in upper years. Now there's also the option to do a major, so that could be anywhere from 6 to 7 courses depending on the major module, and a minor. So minor could be 4 to 5 courses, again, depending on the subject. So once you have completed your 5 first-year courses, so 5 1,000 level courses, you then have 15 credits if you're doing a 4-year degree, or 10 credits if you're doing a 3-year degree, in order to complete the rest of your degree requirements, and those courses are comprised of your modules. So just an example of different module combinations. These are the module combinations that have been approved by the university as part of the honors 4-year degree. So you are able to do an honor specialization in one subject, an honor specialization in one subject and a major in another, an honor specialization and a minor, or a double major. With the 4-year degree, you have a few more options available. So you have the option of doing a specialization and a major, specialization and a minor, a double major, a major in one subject, a major and a minor, or a major and a double minor. So a few more options there. With the 3-year degree, you have the option to do a major in one subject, a major and a minor, or a double minor. So with the 3-year degree, it is a little bit more limited in what options you have, just because there's simply less time to complete those requirements. So every course at the university is divided up into a category. So we have 3 different categories of courses. Category A are your social sciences credits. Category B are arts, humanities, and languages. And category C are your science credits. So in your offer package, you should have received a sheet that actually breaks down all of the 1,000 level courses that we have by their different categories. So you'll see when you're looking at that sheet that social sciences are things like sociology, psychology, political science. Arts, humanities, and languages could be things like English, French, writing, philosophy, and then sciences would be like chemistry, biology, math, anything like that. And every single course at the university falls into one of these three. And as part of your degree requirements, you are required to complete 1.0 of each of the three categories before you graduate. So just to do a little bit of a recap here, all of the courses are divided into different categories. Your first year courses are numbered 1000 to 1999. By graduation, you do need to have 1.0 from each of your three categories, categories A, B, and C. However, in first year, you do need to select at least 2 of the 3 categories. You are required to have a minimum of 1,000 level courses, but a maximum of 7. So if there was something this year that you weren't able to take, but you were still really interested in taking it, you are able to count up to a maximum of 7 1,000 level courses. Every year, at least 3 of your 5 courses must be at Brescia, and we call that your residency requirements as an affiliate student. The other part of that residency requirement is the policy for courses that are offered at your home campus. So for example, if there's a course that's offered at Brescia and somewhere else, you would be required to take it at Brescia. Something like Sociology 1020, be offered at main campus and King's, possibly Huron, as well as Brescia. But since it's offered at your home campus at Brescia, you would be required to take the Brescia section. And that policy is applied to all campuses too. And what you really want to do is keep your options open. So selecting first year courses that will keep lots of modular doors open for your second year. So you'll also notice we have a way of numbering courses, and courses have suffixes that will let you know a little bit more about the course type. So we have 2 different kinds of courses in terms of credit weighting. So we have full year courses, which run from September to April, and those are worth 1.0. And those could either be a regular full year course, so something like Sociology 1020, or they could be an essay course, so something like English 1020E. An essay course will have an E at the end. Now the difference being between the 2, essay courses will have more of a written component on your exams, likely. They will also have a stronger focus on written assignments. Now, not to say that a non-designated essay course, so like Sociology 1020, not to say that it won't have writing. You likely will still have some assignments, but the amount of writing won't be quite as high, and often your exams in that course will be more focused on multiple choice or shorter written answers rather than a long essay type question. Now we also have half courses. We have courses that will run in first term, so courses that are from September to December, or some that are in second term from January to April. So we have the non-essay courses in first term are A at the end, and a non-essay second term course is B at the end. Now keep in mind that these A and B at the end of the course codes, they just tell you the term. So they aren't related to the category of course like we talked about previously. Those are just letting you know which term the course is in. And then same thing with half essay courses. F is a first term half essay course, and anything with a G is a second term essay half course. So again, first year courses are at the 1000 level, and then anything 2000 level or above, up to 4999, is considered a senior course. So just a quick note about transfer credits. Some students might be coming in with transfer credits, and you may have received a transfer credit assessment from your admissions officer. We really want you to watch out for the number of 1,000 level courses that you are taking. As I mentioned earlier, we are only able to count 7.0 1,000 level courses towards your degree. So if you are coming in with any 1,000 level transfer credits, you'll have to be careful about the courses that you select. So transfer credits do count towards your degree, just like courses you take at Brescia would. And there's a couple of different ways that transfer credits can be applied towards your degree. So they can either be in the form of a specific credit. So maybe you were awarded with Chemistry 1301A, and that is a specific course that we offer at the university. So in that case, it would apply as that specific course because the course content has been assessed as equivalent. The other way that they can count is as a general elective credit. So sometimes you may see transfer credits that have a TRN at the end, so something like psychology 1020 TRN. That means it's been assessed by the university as equivalent to a university course, but not necessarily anything specific that we offer. So it's still working as one of your electives, and it's a credit towards your degree, just not a specific course. Now, another thing that's important to note is that the grades that you receive in your courses do not count towards your average. So we are simply putting the courses on as a credit. The grades don't transfer over. There won't be any grade listed for those courses on your academic record at Brescia. Okay, so just some important terminology for credits that you'll run into on the timetable website. So an anti-requisite course is a course that is very similar to another credit. And it's so similar, in fact, that you can't take both towards your degree. So there's too much overlap in those courses in order to count both. So you really want to be paying attention to any anti-requisite courses that you're not taking both of those credits. A prerequisite course is just like it sounds. So it's a course that needs to be completed prior to registration in another course. So something like food and nutrition 1070A needs to be taken before 1241B. Co-requisite doesn't come up quite as often, but you'll still see it occasionally. And really what that means is that there are two courses that either need to be taken at the same time, or one of the courses needs to be taken before. So they can either be taken concurrently or before that. So the timetable website will list those different requirements on there for your reference. So speaking of timetable planning, there are a few different resources that you can use for drafting up that timetable. So we have a Brescia timetable that is specific just to Brescia courses. There's the Western timetable that lists everything from Brescia, Western, Huron, and Kings. And then we also have the Draft My Schedule tool. And this is very helpful in terms of actually adding courses to your draft timetable, and so you can see how they work together well. So I'm going to open that up really quickly, just so you can see how it works. I'll sign in here. So when you sign in, you will be able to build a draft, and it has it all laid out for you really nicely here so that it's searchable. You can see that when I'm recording this, it's still the 2019-2020 version because the 2020-2021 version hasn't quite launched yet, but by June 1st, that should be launched for you. So you'll be able to search by subject. We've got everything listed here that's offered at the university. You'll be able to search by the course suffix. So as I mentioned, a full course without an essay, so no suffix. An essay course, full year, A or B course, so half courses, or F or G, half essay courses. You can search by campus, you can search by delivery type, you can even search by the times that it's offered. And if you do know the specific number of the course, you can pop it in there as well. Keep in mind, you don't need to fill in all of these. You can just search by subject too. It just helps narrow down your results. So I'm just going to pull up this one from last year so you can see what it will display as. So it'll show exactly what was available. Now this is for all the campuses, but I'm going to search it just by Brescia so we can narrow it down. There we go. So if we're looking for Sociology 1020, we can see that there were a number of different lecture times that were available. There's also a tutorial section for each of those. So in the lecture, you'll be learning in a lecture style, gaining information from the professor. And then in the tutorial, that will be more focused on discussing the concepts that you've learned in lecture. So you would need to register for both of these. So I've already saved this one to my timetable below. And if I'll need to add the tutorial too. So I will do that and we can see that it would look like this. So we'd have the lecture as well as the tutorial section. So very user-friendly, very easy way to put together those courses, and it gives you a nice view of both your fall session as well as your winter session. So if you have half courses, you can kind of see them side by side so that you can create a balanced timetable, which I'll be, again, chatting a little bit more about. So when you're selecting half courses, you want to make sure that you don't have any more than 5 courses per term. So you need to be careful in selecting those and keeping them even. So just an example of a balanced versus a non-balanced timetable. So this person with a balanced timetable has a few different full year courses. So they have sociology, English, and business. So those 3 are going from September all the way through to April. They also have psychology 1010, 1015 in first term, 1010 and 1015B in second term, as well as family studies 1010 in first term and 1015B in second term. So you can see that they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in first term. We're counting these 2 first terms, and each of the full year courses are also in first term. And then in second term, because sociology, English, and business will be continuing, they'll have 1, 2, 3, and we'll count the Bs, 4, and 5. With the person who has not selected a balanced timetable, they've selected very similar courses. So they have sociology, English, psychology, and business as well. But with these family studies courses, you can see that they've selected 2 that are in second term. So right now they only have 4 courses in first term. So they have sociology, English, psychology 1010A, and business 1220E in first term. And then in second term, again, the full year courses are continuing. So they have sociology, English, and business. But then they have psychology 1015B, family studies 1010B, and family studies 1015B. So they have 4 in first term, 6 in second term. So they would need to change one of these 2 second term courses to first term instead so that they have 5 and 5. So some important things to consider when you're choosing your first year courses. You know, there are a ton of 1000 level courses out there. So how do you go about narrowing it down to just your 5.0 courses that you have to pick from in your first year? So first and foremost, you want to consider your goals and your interests. So where do you see yourself after your degree? What kind of career are you looking for? What are you interested in? Because what you're interested in is really going to help you be academically successful. When someone's engaged in the subject that they are learning, it really, really assists in staying on top of the material and staying engaged in lecture. So keeping those types of things in mind. Now, the number of essay courses is also very important. So you know yourself and you know your skill set and how you work. That being said, the essay courses are typically a little bit more labor intensive simply because the amount of work that goes into the specific written requirements and the essays that you'll be writing. So even though it's very important to have a first year essay course, we often suggest that students have at least one essay course because they do help prepare you for second year level essay courses. And the first year essay courses tend to walk you through the process of writing a university essay. So at least, if you're able to fit it in, one half essay course would be helpful, not required, but helpful. But then on the other side, having an overabundance of essay courses might be a little overwhelming. So just keeping that in mind. So demanding courses too. An example that we've listed there is chemistry. So chemistry has a 3-hour lecture as well as 3-hour lab or tutorial every week too. So the number of hours that you're spending in lab and in class reduces the amount of hours that you're able to spend outside of class reviewing and doing course readings and that type of thing. Then last but not least, you do also want to consider your high school background. So making sure that you have the appropriate prerequisite courses at the 4U level. And then also thinking about what courses that you did well in high school, because that does give you a good indication of what you will be successful in at the university level. So just a few things to keep in mind to help you narrow down those choices. So again, I've talked a little bit about keeping your different doors open when you're going into second year. So I've just given a couple of examples, one course selection with limited options and one with multiple options. So at the top here, this person has selected business, food and nutrition, math, family studies, interdisciplinary studies, and psychology. So those ones that this person's probably interested in, possibly a food management module. But the way that the rest of their courses work together don't necessarily keep a lot of different options open. For example, they've chosen family studies, but the family studies modules also require either a psychology or a sociology alongside them in order to keep that door open. So, and then with only the half credit in psychology 1015B, that would not keep any of the psychology modules open either. However, at the bottom here, the courses this person has selected, English, family studies, sociology, interdisciplinary studies, and psychology, as well as food nutrition, they keep a lot more modular doors open. The English credit would open up any of the English modules. The family studies along with sociology opens up the family studies modules. And then since they've taken food and nutrition, the nutrition and families modules could also be an option. Sociology keeps the sociology modules open too. So they have lots of different doors open to them after their first year, depending on where they find their interests lie. So just to do another quick recap on your degree requirements, you do need to have a minimum of 5.0 1000 level courses with a maximum of 7.0 1000 level courses. You do need to have at least 1 credit from categories A, B, and C by graduation, and 2 of those categories covered in first year. You are required to have 2.0 essay courses. One of those 2.0 needs to be at the 2000 level or above. You'd be looking to complete all of your modular and degree requirements for a total of either 15 courses for a 3-year degree or 20 courses for a 4-year degree. So specifically for our incoming year 1 students, I do want to do just a quick little note on our interdisciplinary studies 1200, which is either a first term course in A term or a second term course in B term, and it's fondly nicknamed our Brescia Bold course. This is a first year seminar class that supports Brescia's competencies, and it's taught by the academic dean and the associate academic dean, and it is designed specifically for women learners. So we are really excited about this course and how it helps support our students. So what I will do is just open up this video quickly just to give you a little snapshot of what the course is all about.
One very special aspect of Brescia University is that we put students at the center of every decision. We ask ourselves, what do students need? How do we prepare our students for their best future? My name is Loretta Frederking, and I serve as academic dean. We put together a course that asks students to think about who they are. We ask, are you political, social, religious? All of the above. What do you care about most? The environment, animals, technology. And that's just the first class. Then we bring students together and raise interesting questions like, what's on your mind? We bring in some great books to frame the types of answers that might make sense to you and help sort out the big questions. From Aristotle, a good life is a political life. Mohammed Yunus, solve small-scale problems for big impact. St. Angela Merici, wisdom, compassion, and justice are key virtues. David Brooks, define your virtues and live them every day in every way. We push you to talk about what you want to do most in the world, with people who may not agree, in a world that is complicated. We give you tools to find common ground, and not surprisingly, these same skills will help you thrive in university. You came here to figure out who you are and which skills match your greatest gifts. So let's go. Come to Brescia. We're waiting just for you.
So quickly noting about our progression requirements at the university. So we have different progression requirements for level 1 students. So students coming directly into first year and then moving into second year. Those first year requirements, after your first year cumulative average, we'd be looking for a 55% or above. Anyone who does receive a 50 to 54.9% cumulative average would be considered to be on probation. So we would be limiting your course load as well as having regular check-ins with academic advising. And then anyone who did receive below a 50% would be required to withdraw from the university. So level 2 progression requirements, if you have any transfer credits, you may be looking at level 2 progression requirements after your first year at Brescia with us. So we would be looking for a slightly higher average in order to be in good standing. So that would be 60% or above. Anything between 55 to 59.9 would be considered on probation. And anything below 55%, you would be required to withdraw. Now, just a quick note that these averages are different than your module admission requirements. Now, these are just the requirements to simply stay a student at the university in good standing, but your modular admission requirements are going to be higher, and you can find those, as we looked at earlier, in the academic calendar. Here at Brescia, we're really proud to have the CARE program. And what this is an early alert program. So it helps us recognize and respond to students who might be at risk and helps get them back on track earlier. So we have a care team that helps triage different concerns and helps us give good referrals to resources to these students and helps us follow up so that we're able to help these students stay on track before everything becomes overwhelming. So it's really a great program to help us support our students throughout their time. Now, some additional supports across campus. As I mentioned a few times, the Hive is a great first stop for all questions. And then in terms of our international students specifically, we do have our International Student Programming Coordinator, Lizette, as well as our International and Exchange Student Center at Western. Western also houses some other support services like our student health services. They have a medical clinic there where you can meet with a family doctor, as well as different mental health supports too. And then the academic support and engagement includes a few different resources like the Learning Development and Success Center. So they offer one-on-one appointments with a learning skills counselor where you're able to really chat about how you learn specifically. So whether you're a visual learner, an audio learner, and how you can apply those specifically to your university courses. They do also offer various presentations throughout the year, like learning from lecture or how to write multiple choice exams, putting off procrastination, lots of different really helpful presentations, and they're often tailored to the time of year that they're being offered. The Writing Center at Brescia is also a great resource, especially if you're taking an essay credit. They are not an editing service, but they will sit down with you with your draft and kind of check your writing for clarity, make sure you are getting your points across and that your writing is very strong. Accessible Education at Western is a support for students that may need accommodations in their university career. So perhaps you if you're coming into Brescia with an existing IEP from high school and you feel you need some support for being successful in your courses, you would be able to meet with an accessible education counselor. They would review your documentation and then they would determine some appropriate accommodations moving forward. And accessible education really encourages students to meet with them in the summer before the fall term starts so that you're able to get those accommodations in place before your courses start in September. So if this is something that would apply to you, I would really recommend that you look into booking an appointment with them in the summer. So the library wouldn't necessarily be something that you think of right away as a resource for support, but our librarians are absolutely fantastic. So if you're writing a paper, an essay, and you're having a hard time finding any resources that you can use, or maybe you're not quite sure how to use the online searching system for different journal articles, you are able to work directly with a librarian, book an appointment, and they can help walk you through that and help you find some resources that might be applicable. They also have lots of great helpful sheets on different citation methods and that kind of thing. Campus ministry is there specifically for students who are looking to develop their spiritual side and looking for some support in that capacity. And there's lots of different ways that you can get involved. We have Catherine Ann George, she's our chaplain. She oversees campus ministry. There's a Brescia choir. There's lots of different ways that students can get involved and also seek support there. And last but not least, the Brescia Student Life Center is a fantastic resource for students who are looking to develop their career. They offer career appointments. They offer resume and cover letter help. They also help our students transition into first year university. So they're the ones that organize our orientation week, as well as different mental health events throughout the year. And at the bottom there, you can see our booked in link if you are hoping to book any academic advising appointments. So not only can you book those in at the Hive, but we also have that helpful booked in link so that you're able to just find a time and come in when it works for you. Another service that academic advising offers is our Remind app. So this is an app that you can download in the App Store. And when you download it, you would want to join the classroom at Brescia UC. And then once you opt into receiving text updates, you will receive our dates and deadlines, notifications, reminders throughout the year. So we often send out things like the last day to add a course, the last day to drop a course without academic penalty, different events that are coming up, and things like that. So definitely join if you're able to access that on your phone, because then you won't miss any dates or deadlines. So if you do have any questions about anything that I talked about in the presentation, please email the Hive at brescia@uwo.ca, and we'd be really happy to help. If they're not able to answer the question, they'll be able to forward it to one of our academic advising team or anyone else who might be appropriate to answer that, and we're really happy to continue the conversation. So again, thank you so much for joining me in the presentation. I hope you found it helpful, and we are so excited to meet you in September. In the meantime, again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I hope you have a safe and happy summer. Okay, bye everyone.